A lost ship amidst the sea of sands hides the secrets of the untold land. A relic of an age in the sands of time calls from a distance, O adventurer of kind. Hello and welcome to a new episode in the Diablo universe. Some secrets are meant to be hidden whilst others are longing to be found. It has been years since game's release and brave Nephilim have explored every inch of their ancestral land. Whether that's finding the crown of the Lich King or discovering the fabled Whimsy Share, we know everything there is to know about the game. Right? Well, not exactly, as along comes the biggest and most well-kept secret of them all, the pages from the Black Rock Ledger, a sunken ship found in Act 2's Stinging Winds that hides secrets and mysteries that will make even the wisest Nephilim wonder, what is the point of all this? So join me now as we discover everything there is to know about this lost tale. What does it mean? Why does it only have 6 pages? And why does the writing on it makes no sense? Discover all this and more in the episodes of Secrets of Sanctuary. If you happen to be playing Act 2 of Campaign Mode, indulge yourself in a mission titled City of Blood and make your way outside the eastern gate of Kassim Outpost. This will bring you in the eastern section of the Stinging Winds marked by a checkpoint appearing on the screen. Upon venturing further, you'll discover a decaying ship half buried in the sands. Quite strangely, a man that only goes by his title, the Gravedigger, is seen to be digging for something near the ship. As you approach, he is ambushed by lunatics and dies a horrific death, leaving a ledger behind. This is a rare event, and it has been confirmed that only 6 of these pages exist. So if you wish to farm these pages, you can wander in Stinging Winds by reloading the checkpoint and looking for the lost ship again. But what do these pages say and why only 6 of them exist? Let's move on to the next part of the mystery. After spending hours and days farming for these pages, one thing becomes absolutely clear. There are only 6 pages that drop at the Black Rock with specific numbers cited on each of them. All these pages, or stone tablets if you will, are marked as 4, 8, 15, 16, 23 and 42. The text inscribed on each page is very cryptic and talks about a mining expedition launched from Kingsport a long time ago. This journey was a troublesome one as the crew on the ship suffered hardships from the beginning and shipwrecked somewhere after being hit by a colossal storm. The captain of the ship disappeared in the nearby desert along with his crew members. Eventually, the writer of this ledger was a sole survivor and nearly went mad as he mentioned some deformed creatures lurking in the dark. And this in its essence marks the end of the 6 pages. No other entries exist and the fate of the final crew remains a mystery. When the Nephilim find 6 pages of text that do nothing, a mystery arises that can be solved by exploring the far-fetched corners of Sanctuary. But the trail of clues lead to a unique turn of events. Upon exploring the deep mystery behind the text described in the ledger, it was found that Nephilim can find certain weapons in the game that are not legendary but hold strange description that matches each of the individual ledger. So the first item here is called the Splintered Oar, whose item description is a shanty or a sea song whose first words are, "From Kingsport to Krast we sail." The word Kingsport is also described in page 4 of the ledger. A strange and an unlikely coincidence, but let's look further. Another weapon called Wert's original leg talks about Wert losing his leg near the town of Tristram. Strangely so, the word leg is also mentioned in page 8 that talks about sea legs not being sturdy. This case too might sound unlikely as the writer of the ledger is called McMahon, where the text of the weapon describes the fate of Wert. But let's move on. Rakanishu's blade is the third item here that is under inspection. Rakanishu is a cursed lord of the fallen that is also found in Diablo 2 and can be met again in Diablo 3. Ledger 15 surprisingly also mentions a curse falling upon the crew members of the ship. The next item in the game called Clipper is also the name of a fast sailing ship of the 19th century and explains that the Black Rock is in fact a clipper and its troubles are described in page 16 of the ledger. Griswold's Worn Edge refers to the blacksmith Griswold that succumbed to madness and was a mini-boss in Diablo 2. Coincidentally, page 23 of the ledger also describes the madness falling onto the survivors of the ship that led to their doom. Finally, we look at the blade spectrum that refers to some silly humour but includes the word giggles. So surprise surprise, that exact word giggling is also described in page 42, which marks the end of the ledger. Now it is understandable that all these unique weapons tell an individual story and may very well refer to separate tales. But why then have they been specifically mentioned in the ledgers? These items are not legendaries, except for Spectrum, and are neither useful in any way, so linking them to the Black Rock does hold a strong case. So does this mean that all these items and pages collectively tell a disjointed tale full of uncertainties and doubts? Or is this referring to something else entirely? Let's explore further. An event such as this is referred in the video games as an Easter egg, where popular references are hidden in plain sight to give a nod to some other popular event. What do I mean by this? Well, allow me to tell the story once again. A ship found shipwrecked in a place that is far away from the ocean, half buried with no survivors, and a mystery that deepens the further you look into it. Somehow certain records of this event does exist where the writer carefully plans certain coded messages that lead you nowhere. Sounds like a famous TV show to me. I'll give you a second to guess. Well, this is a direct reference to the TV show Lost, where the entire sequence is a reminder of the characters and events in the show. How so? Well, the first answer is in the page numbers. The numbers in the sequence are as follows: 4, 8, 15, 16, 23 and 42. These numbers clearly appear in the TV show where the character Jacob uses these numbers to mark 6 candidates. Another clue is the first letter of each ledger. Upon putting this together, it spells out Dharma, which is a scientific venture described in the TV show. A final hint might be the appearance of black sandstorm that sometimes arises in the desert terrain of Act 2, linking it to the smoke monster from the TV series. So this makes it abundantly clear that this is a nod to the TV show Lost with a flavor of Diablo universe sprinkled on top of it. So when you thought the mystery was solved and everything makes sense, well, it's my duty to indulge you in some further clarification and fan theories. The Black Rock Ledger is a real-life sailing vessel that embarked from Portsmouth, England on March 22, 1845. It was lost and was later found on an island off the coast of Madagascar. Inside the ship, a book was found with the word ledger printed on the spine of the book. This makes the Easter egg closely related to a real event rather than a fictional one. In game, people have theorized about this event linking to other places on the map, including some nods to further expansions. Some believe it links to a chat gem similar to one found in Diablo II, and others think Kavatashen has something to do with it all. So many theories to an event that has been quietly discussed in hushed tones since 2012. So here I am, asking you about your opinion on this matter. What do you think all this means? Can it be that after 3 years of the game, we are still missing something? Is this really that cryptic, or are we just being paranoid? Thank you very much for watching the story of Black Rock Ledger. A special thanks to Kyrell on US forums for making a long post about theories concerning this topic, and of course, a big thanks to our community manager Mr. Veneris for suggesting this topic. This has been the Holy Hermit for you. Take care and remember to run for the hills when the lamp runs dry. The night is dark and full of fallen.